Okay, so today we're going to be replacing the front grille and headlight covers on our 68 RS Camaro. So I've already taken the side moldings off, okay, and I've already taken the hidden doors off. So the side moldings, they have 4 screws on each side, and then the doors have 4 screws that hold it in. So there's 4. So once you unscrew the door screws, this should come right, the door comes right out, and then once you unscrew these 4 screws around the molding here, the molding will come right out. Okay, so did that on both sides. And it's a good time to clean up the inside a little bit. So now the front grille is a little bit of a pain in the butt. So there's 5 screws on the front grille, and they're underneath here. And the screws look like this. At least on mine anyways. So anyways, you'll be able to see the screws through the gap right here. And then you can just reach underneath and unscrew all the bottom screws. I'll take care of the bottom. Now the ones on the top are a little bit of a pain. The ones on the top, you know, this front hood piece basically bends forward and bends back. So it kind of puts a little lip above the screws. So with the screws here, you can see them. Well, you can see the recesses for them. There's one, there's another one right there. Okay, there should be like around 4 or 5 of these as well. So with these, how am I going to take these out? All right. As far as the top, I'm going to take this front piece off right here. So, and that'll give me access. That'll take the whole grill with it. There's 2 bolts here on this side, and there's 2 bolts over here on this side, and then I believe there's another 2 behind it, and that will allow me to pull this out with the rest of the grill, and it'll make changing the grill or attaching it to that top piece a lot easier. So let's go ahead and take care of that right now. Okay, so as you can see, this thing lifts pretty easy now, at least on the front side. Okay, because I took the 2 bolts out. They're 1/2 inch, the bolts that were there. There we go. They're 1/2 inch bolts. So basically, I used a 1/2 inch wrench on one side, and then on the other side to loosen it up, I used a 1/2 inch socket with an extension on it, so that way I clear the headlight door bracket here. So I just basically put it underneath the front bumper and then get it up there like so, and easy to untighten at that point. All right, so that takes care of the front screws. Let me take the screws in the back of this. Let me lower this down, and we'll take those, and this whole grill should pop right back out. So stay tuned. Okay, so now that we've got this down, the 2 screws that we need to take out here are basically, let's see here, whoop, these 2 right here. There's one right here. Okay, there's the latch, the hood latch. So there's one here, and there's one here. So these 2. We'll take those out, and this front piece should come right out along with the grill. All right, so here we go. Okay, so easy as that. There were 2 1/2 inch screws there. There are the 2 1/2 inch screws that were on the sides. Okay, and that's all it took to take the grill out once we got the screws on the bottom out. Okay. So you can see this is the bottom. So we're going to clean this up a little bit. All right. And here's what the grill looks like. Okay, we're going to take the RS tag off, emblem off. See the bottom of the grill has those little, I don't know what they're called, that the nut or that the screw goes through to tighten it down. So we've got to make sure we put those on the new grill. And the screws here, you can see those are the ones we're going to be taking out in order to take the grill out. Okay, so there's 5 of them. Okay, so there you go. Easy peasy. So let's get the new grill on and we'll go from there. So first things first, we'll take these screws out and yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so we're ready to piece this together. The nice thing is along with the grill and the top and the bottom parts of it, I also bought the screw kit. All of these links are in the description. The original grill has the top and bottom pieces riveted on. So rather than riveting these things, the screw kit provides screws. So we'll screw the top and the bottom pieces to the grill. And then when we do that, I'll also use medium strength thread locker. So that way the nuts won't vibrate loose and these will last for a while. All right, so I'm going to put this thing together. Basically just screwing the top and the bottom pieces to the grill, and then I'll show you what we've got afterwards. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, so here's what we got so far. I put all the bolts on here from the kit that I got, the screw kit, and everything, as you can see the blue, I used medium thread lock. Now the kit shorted me screws for the other side of this, so I had to find my own 7/16 inch screws, which fortunately I have an abundance of. They're a little bit long, but that's okay, they're hidden. So put those on and used a thread locker. So now we've got the whole front grille ready to have the emblem put on and ready to be mounted onto that top front part of the body. Also, here are the headlight covers. The kit did have enough screws. Again, these are not riveted on, they're screwed on and there's Loctite. Okay, so that's what the back side of these things look like. And you know, you could ask, well, I mean, I could have, you know, gone and riveted them on, but the thing is, look, they're already aftermarket. So, I mean, what am I trying to prove? You know, you won't see the rivets and, you know, it's not like they're original. So easy to just screw these things on. That way, if I need to replace them in the future for whatever reason, you know, they get worn or what have you, they're easy to take off. So there you go. All right, so let me get the front part of that body panel on, and then let's put this back on the car. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, here's a mistake I made. So that's the nice thing about these videos, so you learn from my mistakes. First of all, I put the screws in up backwards. So if I put the screw in from with the head on the top coming in, it doesn't have enough clearance for the bracket that holds the door. So the screws need to be put this way. The other is tightening the screws too much cracks the plastic. The plastic is really weak. So what I did to fix that is I put U-clips in with, I drilled 2 holes and put U-clips in there with screws to reinforce it. Actually, I should have just done that to begin with, not use the screws in the screw kit, because that screw kit has really screwed me. So, big time. So anyways, using the U-clips and putting the screws facing up provides enough clearance for the door to fit onto the door bracket. So that's what these videos are for, so you can learn from my mistakes. Hopefully you don't make the same ones. All right, so let's put the doors on, and we'll go from there. All right, so on top of OER not giving me enough bolts for mounting the bottom part of the grill, this is what they provided. This is the original. What these are is these are the little fasteners that go onto the bottom of the grill that mount, you put the screw in and it holds the bottom of the grill of the car. You can see that the holes are off. This is a lot, the hole is lower. And this actually fits the aftermarket grill just like it does the original, because this came from the original. You can see that this hole is not going to line up. So it kind of sucks that they couldn't get this right. Fortunately, I have a bunch of these, so I don't have to use the original ones that are kind of rusted. But come on, guys, seriously, that kind of sucks that you can't supply the correct parts. This is off an original 1968 grill. So keep that in mind when you're doing this, if you buy the screw kit, that you're going to have this issue. All right? Okay, so stay tuned. Well, I found a use for those U-clips that were not the right size. So this is the emblem. Okay? So, okay? It's all nice and snug fit. And I used I used those U-clips to do it. Why? Because these little things that they provided, the hole's too big for the stem, and they dropped all the way to the bottom without being able to be threaded on, without starting the thread on these. These are supposed to come to a certain point of the stem and then start threading itself onto the stem. Unfortunately, this dropped all the way down the stem. So ended up using those U-clips, those bad U-clips that they sent with the screw kit. So that's what's holding the emblem on, and they're doing a great job of that. So just know that also, if you purchase the RS emblem, these stupid little lock nuts that come with it may not work, because these things, the grill is thick enough to where these stems don't stick out far enough. All right, stay tuned. Let's get this grill back on the car. Okay, so we got the doors in. I tested them, make sure they open and close. We don't put the trim in until after we get the grill in, because the trim overlaps the grill. But I did paint the trim flat black again, refreshed it so it looks like new again. So we'll get the grill back on. 2 screws on the top, 2 screws on each side right here, and then we got all the screws on the bottom of the grill. All these little holes there that should line up with the U-clips on the bottom of the grill. So, all right, so that's next, putting the grill back on. Oh, by the way, these lights. The screw kit screwed me again. The screw kit came with, for the lights that I bought, screws that were too small. These are 832 screws that are on my lights anyways. So fortunately I had 832 screws. I'll just paint them black, flat black. But yeah, the screw kit really screwed me big time. So anyways, all right, let's get the grill back on. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got the bottom on. All the screws are in. I think they're 5/16, so they go into the U-joints there. You can see there's 3 of them just right there, and there's 3 on the other side as well. So I think we are good to go. So let's bring this down off the lift and take a look at what we've done and see if the lights work. Keep our fingers crossed. And thank God there's no more screws in this screw kit. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so there you go. Far cry from the previous grill that was all messed up. The only sad part is that the previous grill was original. And this is obviously aftermarket. So let's give the lights a quick whirl to make sure that this works. You can see the reflection off the garage door there. Yeah, there we go. So lights open up really nice. Gotta clean up a little bit of the dirt there, but outside of that, I think this car's ready for a wash. All right, so the next video that I'm gonna do here is something that was kind of, well, it's not peculiar. I mean, it happens. This car has air conditioning. Yeah, 500 plus horsepower and air conditioning, but it is black on black, so it gets really hot. And the air conditioning is ice cold. It's really good. But you turn on the air conditioning and the car stalls on idle. And I'll give you the solution for that. So stay tuned for the next video. Real simple. And yeah. All right. Hope you got something out of this. Hope you learned from my mistakes. I don't know about the screw kit. And make sure that you get the screws on properly. I put thread lock on the screws on the doors, on the headlight doors. And I don't know, I think that might have weakened the plastic because, you know, the plastic cracked on those. So I had to drill some holes and, you know, you saw I had to put those little U-joints in there. So you maybe want to be careful of that. One, maybe not use, well, at least not let the thread lock touch the plastic, but the other, the thread locker touch the plastic. But the other is, don't tighten the screws too tight on those headlight covers. So keep them a little bit loose, and that'll prevent the cracking. So, anyways, like I always say, you know, live life to the fullest. You only live once, so you know, enjoy. All right, peace out. Where is that? There we go. Peace. Later.